Morning, all. All right, we're going to start off today as we finish off the Metro Division today. We're going to start off with the Carolina Hurricanes. That's right, Islander fans. I saved. You guys can save best for last. Sure, why not? So Carolina, who may very well end up being the best team in the Metro Division, going through a lot of turnover. Now, what's interesting is they went through a lot of turnover last off season too, and there was a lot of, well, is this all going to work? But because it worked so well last year, I think that's why people are so optimistic this year, even though there's been some pretty decent movement here with the Carolina Hurricanes in terms of players leaving and coming in. So, I mean, chemistry could be a question mark out of training camp and into the first couple weeks of the season, but we'll see, right? So, their last 5 seasons show you that the Carolina Hurricanes are finally experiencing the level of success that they had never experienced either as the Whalers or the Hurricanes before this last few seasons. 2017-2018, they were 36, 35, and 11. They were 23rd in goals for and 22nd in goals against. And famously, that was a year I picked them to make the playoffs. At least famously for me, it sticks in my head. And they didn't make it, and they were... So the following year, I said, all right, I don't have faith in Carolina, and then they got a lot better. 2018-2019, they were 46, 29, and 7, 16th in goals for, 6th in goals against. They've been a very good defensive team for a while now. 2019-2020, they go 38, 25, and 5. They're 14th in goals for, 6th in goals against again. 2020-2021, they were 36, 12, and 8, 10th in goals for, and 4th in goals against. 2021-2022, they finished 54, 20, and 8, 9th in goals for in the NHL, 1st in goals against. The one thing for me with Carolina, and I'll be interested to see if this changes this year, it felt like they started trying to protect leads too early. And it felt like at times where they really needed an insurance goal, they sat back instead. I'll be interested to see if that changes this year. For instance, it was a few years back now that Carolina was getting shots at a ridiculous pace. They were taking 40, 45 shots a game, it seemed. And then that really settled down the following season. It settled down during that season as well. But yeah, this is a team that when they see something's not necessarily working that well, they fix it. So maybe this will be the team that's looking for that insurance goal now. A 1-goal lead may not be enough for these guys now. And again, 1-goal leads, protecting 1-goal leads is great. And I know coaches love to do it, but I prefer to see that insurance goal before a team starts protecting that lead. Their best month this past season was October, 8-0-0, and that's why any talk of chemistry this offseason, I really haven't seen it. Worst month was November, 7-5-1. So November was a bit of a downer for them because they were 8-0-0 in October. They were due for losses. I remember doing the previews and saying they're due for losses. Nobody wins 82 games. So, yeah, it was a great season. Their worst month is still a pretty good month for some teams in the NHL. And so the expectations for Carolina are the highest that I think they've ever been. Carolina, even though 6 when they won the Stanley Cup, nothing was expected of that team going into the playoffs. Nothing was expected of that team going into the regular season either. Well, they're in a weak division, and they're not going to be able to handle it when the playoffs start, and then they won the Cup. So this is a team now that everybody understands how good they are, and they're on everybody's radar. We'll see if that affects the results too. So, exits. There are a lot here. Vincent or Vinny Trocheck is out. Anthony Tony DeAngelo is out. Nino Niederreiter is out as well. Ian Cole is out. Stephen Lawrence is out. And Max Domi appears to be, well, Max Domi is out as well. So that's a pretty good chunk. Now, of course, Domi was just a rental at the deadline. But it is substantial that's 2 of their top 6 defensemen. That's Trocheck and Niederreiter are 2 of their top 9 forwards. So we'll see how things shake out. Now, their new faces, you have Andre Kasha. I love Kasha's game. He needs to stay healthy. At some point in time in his career, I need Kasha to stay healthy to show the world he could be a 25-30 goal scorer. Again, if he stays healthy, but that's been an issue. Max Pacioretty, who, of course, has an Achilles tendon problem that's going to keep him out for a while. An injury he suffered after the trade, and so here we are. Brent Burns, who was acquired for very little, basically just cap relief to San Jose. And, I mean, Lawrence isn't nothing, but Brent Burns is, pretty big star on the blue line. Comes in to replace DeAngelo. Dylan Coughlin, who was added to the deal with Pacioretty for nothing. And Coughlin, I think, is an underrated part of that deal, too. I kind of like Coughlin. He's still young, could absolutely have some upside on the blue line. And Carolina is known for having a pretty good blue line. Now, I have Jake Gardiner, and I have him in asterisks there because Gardiner technically isn't a new face, but he kind of is. He's expected to play this year. He missed all of last season, so we'll see where he slots in because he doesn't slot into the top 4. Where does he slot in, and how quickly do the trade rumors return? And they added William Lagesson for some depth on the blue line as well. Mackenzie McEachern, I didn't put up there. The name's extremely long, so I knew I'd remember to say it. He's a new face as well, although he'll probably spend time in the AHL as well. Tandem in net is going to be the same as last year. Freddie Anderson and Antti Ranta. Ranta showed that he can carry the load if he needs to, but they need a healthy Freddie Anderson, which has been an issue on and off for a while in his career, right? Toronto fans remember. Now down the middle, this is going to be interesting because cap friendly, I'm kind of on board with the way they're projecting things. Sebastian Aho, first line center, no argument there, I don't think, from anybody. They have Jesperi Kotkaniemi as number 2. They bring Kotkaniemi in with the offer sheet last summer. And this absolutely could be the year now that they throw Kotkaniemi on that second line and see what he can do. Not a lot from him offensively his first year in Carolina. This may be the year he really gets that opportunity. Jordan Staal would then be the third line center. The expectation, I think, is Staal on the second line, Kotkaniemi on the third, but I like the boldness of them putting Kotkaniemi in the second line. And again, I don't do the full depth charts because they would end up just dominating the comment section that, oh, you've got this guy on the wrong line and this guy's on the wrong line. And I didn't feel like that should be the takeaway from a season preview. Jack Drury is projected to be the fourth line center. Drury got into 2 games, got 2 goals. Probably won't score 82 goals this year, but if he does it on the fourth line, that would be impressive. Especially if there were no assists. If it was 82 goals, no assists. My puck. It's just my puck. That's it. No passing, my puck. So we'll see what Drury does. Obviously still a rookie and has some upside there, right? This is a team that has had a good mix of veterans and youngsters for a while, and it doesn't look like that's going to change. So if we look at the channel vote, optimism, it's there. 86% on the Hockey Guy, 88% on the Entertainment Guy say first or second place. And yeah, that's a pretty strong bet right there. Third or fourth, 10% on the Hockey Guy channel, 8% on the Entertainment Guy channel have it voted as third or fourth. Fifth or sixth, 1% on the Hockey Guy channel, 2% on the Entertainment Guy channel, and seventh or eighth, well, that means 2% of the channel, this channel, not fans of Carolina, and 3% on the Entertainment Guy. So 10,000 plus votes on this channel, 830 votes on the other channel, and the percentages are very close. I really enjoy that. So I'm glad I've done it that way, and honestly, it started off as kind of an accident where I posted the first poll on the Entertainment Guy. I mean, just the first team, and I thought, yeah, why don't I just post the polls on both channels, and we'll see if the numbers match up. And they've been very close. Cup odds, they're listed as a plus 1,000. It's a pretty decent bet. It's not the kind of return you're going to get if you're betting on Chicago, but at least you might get your money back if you're betting on Carolina. Your top 4 on the blue line, I don't need to talk about cap space. There isn't any. Top 4 on defense, Jacob Slavin, Brent Burns, you would think will slot into the position Tony DeAngelo had last season. Brady Shea, Brett Pesce. This is a very good top 4. And again, you've got Gardiner, you've got Coughlin, you've got some really good depth on that blue line. It's part of the reason they're number 1 in goals against. Although Freddie Anderson had a very good season going when he got hurt. Now, their breakthrough candidates, for me anyways, I went with Kotkaniemi based on the assumption that he will get more ice time and he will be given an opportunity to get out there, get some more goals and assists. I don't know how many of those points are going to be goals. Maybe Kotkaniemi's going to be a guy who gets 15 goals and 40 assists in a season, but maybe he does get to that 20 goal plus mark. Maybe it'll depend on, fast start, right? We'll see what Brind'Amour does. Seth Jarvis I have as a breakthrough candidate too, because Jarvis had an excellent rookie season, and I do expect more of the same from Jarvis this year. Very hard-working player. Coach, of course, is Rod Brind'Amour. He is safe in that job, as safe as any coach can get. I really think that even if Carolina got off to an absolutely brutal start, Brendamore's not going anywhere. Don Waddell as GM. Hey, I'm going to flat out admit, Don Waddell has done a much better job as general manager of the Carolina Hurricanes than I expected. The last time he was a GM before that was with the Thrashers. That was a disaster. He clearly learned a lot from that, and he's become one of the better GMs in the league. So kudos to him for that. The leaders in goals last year, Sebastian Aho had 37, and he's capable of 40, absolutely. Andrei Svechnikov, 30 goals from him. He is capable of 40 as well. The trick goals and all the pretty goals and the highlight reel goals for Svechnikov are great. He is absolutely capable of more. I think in terms of goal production, I think he's a little bit below the radar, which is weird because, again, he has all the fancy goals, but I think there's more there than what we've seen so far. Assists, Sebastian Aho leads there as well. 44 assists for Aho. Again, very, very good season for Aho. I think at some point he'll hit the 90-plus point mark. Maybe he gets a 100-point season at some point in his career. Carolina would likely have to open up their game a little bit. I don't know that that's going to have to happen for him to get to 100 points. And Teuvo Teravainen with 43 points, or 43 assists, I should say, and I apologize that I can't say Teravainen as well as the PA announcer in Raleigh, but these things happen. Now, special teams were very good for Carolina this past season. 22% on the power play, 88% on the penalty kill. I like anything that rounds up or down to a nice even number, and it does. So that equals 110, which is elite, right? 110 if you add your power play and your penalty kill is considered elite. And so there you go. Very, very solid special teams from Carolina, which then struggled in the playoffs when they ended up getting knocked out, but they're working on that, right? Expiring contracts. Speaking of things that need to be worked on, Jordan Staal, expiring contract. Is this his final year? We shall see. Jesper Fast. I would think they probably find a way to keep him. Andre Kasha. Again, because of all the injuries and because of his issues with that, a one-year contract is understandable. Freddie Anderson and Antti Ranta are both on expiring contracts. So that could be good in that, it might be something that gets them going and maybe they have a better season than we're expecting. And I say that knowing that Freddie Anderson was in the Vezina conversation at points last year. And Max Pacioretty, who, of course, Pacioretty's got to be kicking himself a bit. Probably not with the Achilles tendon, but he's got to be, frustrated that in a contract year he is dealing with a major injury, and that will influence how much money and what kind of term he'd be looking at in his next contract. But when he returns to the lineup for Carolina, which could be, I guess, around halfway through the season, if he is as effective as we know he can be, Carolina will probably try to find a way to keep him around. It'll be interesting, though, because the cap is going to be an issue going forward. When you've got a team that's this talented and you've got some young guys that need to get paid, it's going to get expensive. And so that's something they have to keep in mind if a veteran like Pacioretty is due for another contract. So we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Carolina Hurricanes. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.